You know, Viktor Orban, he keeps pointing out how certain NGOs do their destructive work among us. And in other places, Georgia, Georgia, Armenia, etc., and many other places. And now I am really curious because all the time the EU, the West, keeps claiming Russian election meddling, Chinese election meddling, bloody, 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 blah. For fuck's sake, can someone please, of those in charge of us, please point out to me where I can find those? Please. I'm looking for, you know, those people who are, how do you call it so nicely? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Where are they? Can't find them. Really, I can't find them. Tell me, Dutch government, where can I find those payrolls of Russia so I can get paid? Huh? And then I will do this as a job. I will call for an uprising in Europe, like I already do all the time. And I know you make it illegal to say such things, but that doesn't make it righteous nor even international agreed upon legal. Yeah? I just will refer you to the UN Charter. That fucking simple. So yeah, those same charters that the NGOs refer to in Russia, in Georgia, in the Ukraine, and everywhere else, and their right to support political dissidents, well, according to our standards, after all, those are our NGOs. According to our standards, I think it's justified if I indeed ask for where can I find that kind of support. Can you please point me to a Russian NGO so I can start a Maidan in Brussels? Can you please point me to a Chinese NGO that would do this? No? Maybe it's because those countries indeed, honor certain agreements. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know. Or maybe I just don't look hard enough. But hey, hence I asked the powers to be, consider it a freedom of information request. Please tell me where to find the telephone numbers, email addresses, etc. of those elements. Now, would that not be great if they had NGOs who would support a guy like me to spread the message? Europeans, get your gold back. Take control of the Central Bank of Europe right now. Don't rely on the euro that hinges on the petrodollar to be alive raft, we will sink. It will be worthless toilet paper. So maybe the BRICS countries, out of goodness of their hearts, to avoid severe collapse and then the collateral damage in human suffering, maybe they will support then, a constitutionalist like me who wants to have a copy-paste of the Constitution of America with some little changes, tweaks to the European situation for Europe, a Republic of Europe, a peaceful transition from EU into the Republic of Europe. And this Republic of Europe will issue its own money, not private bankers. It will cancel its debts to fraudulent fiat money, and it will demand its gold back. Or else. What do you mean, or else? Well, or else we will close all those bases that occupy us by blocking them. A blockade. A trade blockade. And we will wait until the USA gives us back our gold before we give them then back whatever they deem is their possessions in Europe. It's that fucking simple. That fucking simple. And it's really a necessity, not per se by force of course. Hear me well. Hear me well. No, my NGO would be an NGO that calls for a very determined but peaceful transition. A referendum among us Europeans if we would like to have a say in our own future. Who can object that? A referenda if we want to copy-paste at least the first two articles of the USA as being the base principle, their constitution, the first two articles as being the base principle for a European constitution. Why? Very simple, with a little bit of tweaking, just like the Swiss army, the European population would become part of the defense force. Therefore, you never have to fear an invader, but neither do you have to fear an internal threat. So, what the founding fathers back then called the militias, and that they supported that you have militias, so you will always be safeguarded from your own government not becoming a totalitarian dictatorship. And they really warned very hard about a foreign controlled central bank and fiat currency. So yeah, I dare to say I am in good company in suggesting these kind of ideas as a perhaps future NGO. The constitutionalists who want to have a Republic of Europe instead of an EU, who do not want to break up, because this you never hear considered. It's either exit, Nexit, Brexit, but never a republic with a controlled central bank by the people for the people. Never. All those so-called political guys out there never give you the solution. They never tell you to rise up and demand it. No, because it's considered illegal. In the Netherlands you see persecution about this from political people in the FVD. Yeah? About kind of the same kind of statements that I make, but nonetheless, just because you make it illegal, the system, the state, doesn't make it right. Might does not make right. It's that simple. The only might that makes right is this one. This one. So yeah, if they want to come after me for my opinions like they do with other people, am I afraid about these kind of consequences? No. Why would I? They can do it anyways, right? They can do it anyways, regardless your opinion. They will. It's like a bully. A bully will always find a cause. Always. Doesn't matter. Can be anything. You can be the child with the red hair, with freckles and glasses. Ugly fucker like me. Doesn't matter. Huh? You can be the wrong religion according to some people. You can be of the wrong color according to some people. It doesn't matter. A bully will always find a cause. So, should you worry? No? Why? You will always be on someone else's shit list. Ta-da! Just a fucking fact of life. But there will always be people with you in agreement as well. People who are reasonable. People who can think for themselves. People who, maybe not for the same reasons like me, and maybe not to the same extent like me. People who also want to have, for fuck's sake, finally, freedom in Europe, safety in Europe, and yes, certain values on which our cultures are built. Heck, even your law books are written based, on that great historical heritage you have. Have a nice day, Twitter X, YouTube, world. I hope you are okay wherever you are. I know I'm just a crazy old guy. According to Dutch, I'm a total psychopath. So, that the state police, look it up in my responses, and that the state police, just like in the systems that I am opposed against, that the state police would come after me and the secret service, etc., for suggesting to get rid of, yes, those very same systems. Gee, what a fucking surprise. The only surprise? Shock, really. To be honest, just a fucking shock. Growing up in the Netherlands, to see how, besides my own pain and grievance, growing up as a German child in the Netherlands, who got a lot of blame about his German heritage. I understand. Heck, if some things had happened to my family, well, you hear my videos spread out all over YouTube. What I would do, what I will do. So yes, I can understand. For sure. But what I cannot understand is how can you then. Become exactly what you told me you hated so much. Yeah? Vividly told me you hated so much. Well, I didn't forget those very impressive lessons back then. Trust me, I didn't. They have caused me nightmares to this day. So, it's fair to say I consider it a fucking holy duty to, oh yeah, to be doing my part for this never again. Have a nice day, Europe.